you don't know which spawn to call because there's two spawns. So unless someone says something specific like, are there both boxes on this? So if there are both boxes, then we can't call one box spawn and fuck, there are both boxes. Okay, so box spawn is out the window. We can't call one box spawn because they both have boxes.
I'll get that spooky ghost boy.
How's it going, everyone? Ghost here, back with another Valorant guide. This time, by the looks of it, you can see I'm going to do Killjoy. So, I said in my previous guide that I was going to do an agent guide with Fracture, and I found out pretty early that Killjoy works really well with this map. So, I'm going to tell you some things about this map and things to do with Killjoy on this map. So, let's get into it. Killjoy's first ability is called Nano Swarm. She has 2 charges per round and they cost 200 credits each. So a Nano Swarm is basically a grenade that can be detonated from anywhere on the map. So you place it down, it's invisible to enemies, but when they get close to it, they'll hear it like buzzing, and then they'll also see the pink outline of it. So that's stays there until she activates it or someone destroys it, so it can be destroyed. So she can activate it anywhere on the map, and usually it's done for post-plant situations. So wherever the spike's planted, say the spike is planted right there, someone's trying to defuse, you can activate it from somewhere safe on the map and it will do damage to them and then eventually dissipate, and you have 2 charges, so you can put 2 on the spike, but the effects don't stack, so you don't get double damage if you activate them at the same time. So if I want to plant here, then I'll walk up here, I can see the enemy swarm grenades, so they're right there. It's only once I get in proximity that I can see them, so once I move away, they're invisible. Once I move close, I can hear them buzzing, and I can also see them. So the Killjoy won't know I'm here unless I start to plant, so that's when she'll activate them. Or if she has an alarm bot, that will trigger her knowing that I'm there, and then she'll activate them. But if I see these and have time to react, I'll just shoot them out. So they destroy in one shot, they're one-shot kills, so swarm grenades are pretty weak. Killjoy's second ability is her alarm bot. So what her alarm bot does is basically when an enemy walks into this radius here, I'll get a better view of this, in this radius here. So if an enemy walks within that radius, the alarm bot is triggered and it walks over to them and makes them vulnerable. So what making them vulnerable does is they take more damage from gunshots, mollies, whatever damage they take. So usually you can put this with your swarm grenades, so when someone walks in proximity, Killjoy will activate her swarm grenades, and that'll, if they are hit by the alarm bot, then a lot of damage will be done to them through the swarm grenades. So it does basically, I think, double the damage. So your alarm bot is activated and then it goes invisible, just like Killjoy swarm grenades, and you can also recall it in game. So wherever you are on the map, you can recall it. So say I'm on B and the attackers decide to go A. I want to rotate. I just hold my button, which is Q, and it recalls my bot. So place it down, and then I can recall it anywhere on the map. So recall it back, and I have it back. But there is a cooldown, so I don't get it instantly. There is a cooldown. Same thing with the enemy Killjoy swarm grenades. I couldn't see them before. I can't see her alarm bot, but when I walk in proximity, I can see it. There's a larger radius where I can see the alarm bot compared to the swarm grenade. But if I walk a bit closer, it gets me and it makes me vulnerable, so I can take more damage within this time period. But the effects wear off pretty quickly. I can destroy Killjoy's alarm bot if I have fast enough reflexes, so there's a short period of time where it lets me destroy it before it makes me vulnerable. So walk up to it, and then I can destroy it before it even sees me, or well, before it even does damage to me. So that's something you can do to counter the alarm bot, but it just depends if you're fast enough. You can also run back from it, but also depends how quick you are. So yeah, that's Killjoy's alarm bot. So this is how quickly you take damage from Killjoy Swarm Grenade. One Swarm Grenade will kill you if you have full armor, full shields. It will basically kill you no matter what. But yeah, there is a bit of time for you to run away from that before it kills you completely. I'm going to become vulnerable from Killjoy's alarm bot, and then I'm going to take damage from her Swarm Grenade. So I'll show you how fast I die compared to normally. Okay, so that time I didn't have auto respawn turned off, and as you can see, I died pretty quickly. So it killed me twice in the span it took me to kill me once. So making someone vulnerable is a real benefit if you want to deal a lot of damage to them, and the turret can also come into play with that. So that brings me to Killjoy's signature ability, which is her Sentry Turret.
Sentry.
So her Sentry Turret can see 180-degree view, so it can see from everything to its complete left to everything to its complete right. So what it does is once it sees an enemy, it starts shooting at them, but until then it just remains sentry, so it just stands there and stands guard basically. You can't move, but you can recall it anywhere on the map, similar to Killjoy's alarm bot. So just hold E, which is your activation, which is your signature ability, or whatever your keybinds are. It could be different. And you can also rotate it around. So if you don't want it to face forward, you can switch it around by clicking right mouse button to face it towards you. So this is good if you want to stick it in a corner like this, instead of having to go around like this and place it down. You can just rotate it, place it down like that, and then yeah, once it sees someone, it'll start shooting at them. It does a little bit of damage, but not that much. But I suggest destroying it as soon as you see the turret. Once the turret is destroyed, there is a cooldown that is longer than when you recall it. So I think it's like a minute cooldown or something. So when you recall it, there's also a cooldown, but it's not as long as when the turret gets destroyed. So once you deploy it, it gets destroyed, you have like 50 seconds cooldown until you can deploy it again. When you recall it, there's like a probably 20-second cooldown. I'll have those cooldowns down in the comments below, so you'll know when the cooldowns are. So Killjoy turret can see everything in front of it, so it can't see behind and it can't see anything past its 180-degree range of view. So if I slowly walk up to this, this is directly on its left, and as soon as I walk away from it, it stops recognizing me. So once you walk in front, it starts dealing damage. Now, it doesn't do that much damage, but it is very impactful, and you don't want to stand in its range for too long. So, Killjoy's turret has 150 health, so it will take 4 Vandal shots to destroy it. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. So yeah, basically turrets have 150 health, so destroy it as fast as you can. Once you deploy the turret like this, it waddles for a bit, so it does a little dance, like a little happy dance, and then in that time period, if you're close and you see the turret being deployed, you can just shoot it before it even spots you. So there is a little gap where you can shoot it before it starts shooting you. So one last thing with Killjoy's turret and alarm bot, they have a range radius. So this circle here is how far I can move within my utility. So if I move away from this circle, so say I move out of the range of my utility, you can see that my turret and alarm bot have a bar that go down. That means my abilities are deactivated. So if someone pushes onto B site and I'm over on at A, my my utility won't pick them up and they'll be completely visible to enemies. So they'll be able to see my abilities until I re-enter this range here. Then that's when my abilities turn back on. Alright, so right now the enemy Killjoy's abilities are active. So her turret is there, and once she gets out of range, her abilities deactivate and her alarm bot shows itself, so I can walk within its perimeters and it won't activate until Killjoy walks back within that activation circle. So in this time period when Killjoy is not within her radius of her abilities, I can destroy them, so she'll have the cooldown on her turret but not the alarm bot, because the alarm bot is a single use only. The alarm bot's also 200 credits, if I didn't mention that before. So yeah, I can destroy it and destroy it, so then I can safely do whatever I want on site, and even if she's back in range of her abilities where they were, nothing will happen because she doesn't have them. I destroyed them. But a good thing to do is, if you do see Killjoy's abilities deactivated, you can guess when she is close to site. So if you want to plant, if you see her alarm bot, for example, you can plant wherever you want in the line of sight of the alarm bot, and when it becomes active again, that's when you know she's in her radius of her activation thing, so she will be close to pushing on. So that's a good little trick for knowing where the Killjoy is on the map, because when it's deactivated, you'll know she's pretty far away from sight, but when it becomes active, you'll know she's coming close. So once it hides itself again, you'll know where it was because it was deactivated, so you'll see where it was before, and you can just shoot it and then destroy it, even though it's invisible. So you can do damage to the invisible stuff. So you can pre-fire spots, you can pre-fire the spike if you want, if you know there's a Killjoy, and she usually does post swarm grenades, so you can usually just spray the spike really quickly, and if you miss, then just shoot it down before you defuse or plant, whichever one. But just make sure you check if there's a Killjoy. Make sure you check that the spike has no swarm grenades on it. Alright, so moving on to Killjoy's final ability, her ultimate. It's called Lockdown, which is basically initiating a device that stops enemies from shooting their guns and defusing, pretty much. So once I activate my lockdown, my ultimate, there's this 10-second time limit for where enemies can run out of this radius until they get captured. So once the timer hits 0, it shows you how many players are detained, and as you can see here, she can't do anything. She can't pull out her gun until the effects wear off. Once the effects wear off, she can start moving about really quickly and start shooting, so just be careful you don't search for the detained player for too long, and if you do, just be careful if there's more than one player alive, then it could be a trap, because the detained player could be going back to their team that's not detained and just bait the people looking for the detained player. Fuck, that's a mouthful. So yeah, just be careful of that. So Killjoy has activated her ult, and I can see the timer going down, and if I don't escape within this time, say I'm on the bomb, I get caught, my defuse stops. I can move around, but very slowly. I can't pull out my gun, I can't use my abilities. I'm pretty much trapped like this until the effects wear off. Her lockdown has the same health as someone with full shields, or the turret, so it takes 4 shots to destroy it. So 4 shots will completely destroy the turret, and that will stop anyone from being detained in it. Alright, so the first thing with this map is that there are 2 attacker side spawns, which is very interesting and never seen before. The defenders spawn right in the middle, right here, so they can either go to A site or B site, but they spawn right in the middle there. This attackers spawn on this side over here, but they have these ropes that they can just travel along to get to either side of the spawn, so they can just get from either top spawn or to bottom spawn. Callouts are very strange in this game because so yeah, you have these ropes that you can travel between during the buy phase, and then once the buy phase closes, you can go through barrier phase, orbs here, and then you go up here and you can get to A site, and then drop down. A site is down here and also up here, so it's 2 levels. This is also wallbangable. This is alternate A entrance. I have no idea what you're gonna call it. It's just, there's a door here as well. That door. Door. It opens both ways, so there's no button or anything. So enemies and teammates can go through it, and it's proximity activated. So whoever walks close to it is gonna activate it. And here's other spawn, not forklift. I'll go back to A and then show you defender spawn. Okay, so around here also connects to A, so you can go through there on A, and then up here you got their defender spawn right here. You can also go from this way, which is just around there. So you can go from here into defender spawn, and then over here is B, so you can either go through canteen or pump. So this is through canteen, and you have B spawn up here. So B is over here, pretty basic site, nothing really fascinating. There's also this entrance, so that just brings you back there. And then we'll go down this way to not forklift attacker side spawn. So you have this little spot here. I have no idea what the callouts are yet. I'm just showing you around. And then you can go through tunnels to alternate B entrance. Yep. And then okay, we'll go back over here. So this is not forklift spawn. And you're back over here. Let's travel across. Oh yeah, with the ropes they're one way, so it shows you here the X. You can't travel down this way, and this one you can travel down, so they're one way and you can't jump off. Alright, so we're at forklift spawn, and then we're gonna go this way to B. So we have tunnels, as I said, down there. You have an entrance from here, main, I guess, and then you have another entrance in tower that you can just walk down here to, and then that's basically everything in this map. Now I'm going to show you guys why Killjoy is my pick for this map. Alright, so on this map, defending, I usually like to hold A. I find A to be better to hold. So what I do, I place my turret up on this box here, because that covers spawn right there. As you can see, it's doing damage to someone pretty early, so it gets a good view of people coming to this side. And then I like to put my alarm bot down around here, so this covers basically the whole area around here. Your alarm bot covers this, so it will alert you when someone's trying to push through here. If someone tries to push through the door, you'll hear it because it's loud as fuck. And yeah, with your swarm grenades, I'd hang on to them. So far, what I've seen, this is default right here. Not many people plant upstairs unless they have site control. In that case, if they do, they'll plant right there because that is the safest option. So yeah, if you want, you can place a swarm grenade down on defaults, but I like to hang on to them just in case it's not A, or I can just, if they do push onto site, I can just throw it down and then activate it, so I'll know where they're planting, and then I can just throw it down straight away. And then that's basically my setup for A. It's pretty basic, but it's pretty good because it can hold satellite dish, basically mid, but they most won't likely push through mid because we have mid control. Defenders have mid control. So yeah, they're either mostly going to push from here or here, but when you have this set up, I like to hold it around here, so when people do push through your alarm bot, you can shoot them, or if people try to push through your turret, you can easily just swing out and get them off before they come here. Alright, so if you do want to defend B, my usual go-to setup is just place the turret there so it gets B main over here, and then put down an alarm bot around here wherever the barrier phase ends, so you can catch people coming through arcade into this area here. And then I like to hold it around tower, so if anyone tries to come up tower, I can just pick them off, because if they don't want to go tower, they'll get caught by my alarm bot. So then in that case, I can just come out, swing out, and hopefully get them. And then if they do come from main, then my turret will pick them up and I'll see them there, so I'll get them there. Pretty basic setup, nothing too special. So the reason that I prefer Killjoy over the previous two maps, Breeze and Icebox, is that this map is smaller in the sense that it's not as wide open. So it's still a big map, but it's less wide open than Breeze and Icebox. So there's a lot of angles, a lot of corners, a lot of places to hide, and the good thing about that is that her ult will capture a lot of the area of sight. So if I ult here, I capture all of B site, pretty much all up until the B entrance. I capture all around to the barrier phase around here and here. Oh, actually the barrier phase around here, but like I capture pretty much the entirety of B, which is really good for Killjoy ulting. So I can capture basically, they have to run a long way to go, and by that time I probably would have already planted or defused the spike. So that is a very good ult. Well, not that position specifically, but like this map is really good for her ulting. So like I can stick it down over here and it'll still capture the majority of B side, will capture basically all of main. I could come around here. This would also capture a lot of B side. I'm not going to place down too many because it'll get confusing. And then I can place one generally down here. That captures the entirety of B site and also a little bit around there. But that's a pretty good, I think, ult in this corner here. Can't wallbang it, which is good. With Killjoy ulting A, you can either put it here, which covers default unders and above. You can put it around here, which gets a bit more of sight. You can, if you have cleared this, capture it around here, which gets you a bit of mid. If you want to push onto sight a bit more, you can capture this, which only leaves them back of sight. You can do this, you get all of A sight, pretty much all of around here, but they can peek out and destroy it there, but you know, no one's going to take that chance because you'll probably be protecting it. So if you see some gunshots, you can just either peek out, or you know, just wherever you peek out from, you can just get them. And yeah, it's a really good spot to ult. You can even ult up close, which gets you all of sight. You can pretty much ult anywhere and it pretty much gets you a lot of sight. So that's still a good thing about this map, where you can easily capture any site with Killjoy ult. Even though there's some space to be free at, you can just pick them because they're basically vulnerable when you're ulting. So say I do here, it only captures this area around here. They have this space around here that's not captured. So I ult it, and that's basically where they're going to be. So you can basically predict where they're going to be. If they're up top or down the bottom, that's basically up to game sense. So they can go around here, they can hide behind this, so you can wallbang this. Just bear in mind you can wallbang that, so you can do that. If they hide behind here, you can wallbang that, but you can't wallbang this. So be careful where you hide if you are trapped in this ult situation. If you hide here, they'll wallbang that. If you hide here, less of a chance to get killed. But still, entirely up to you. So anyways, that was the Killjoy guide. Hope you guys found that useful. I'll be using Killjoy a lot more on this map. Still experimenting around with other agents, seeing who else can be my backup, but so far Killjoy is going to be my main. Killjoy is my backup on Icebox and Breeze, just because they're really big maps and they're better for Killjoy as a defender, as a sentinel. Because with Cypher, there's just too many open areas for him to cover, and I feel like his abilities won't be able to cover it as well as Killjoy does, because her turret can cover a lot of ground, and her alarm bot too. So I feel like Killjoy is just the better sentinel for these new maps, Icebox, Breeze, and now Fracture. But yeah, I hope you guys found that useful. I hope you guys enjoy the new map. I know I hated the map when it first came out, but after playing it a little bit, I got to like it. I think it was just unfamiliar because I didn't know where the angles were, I didn't know the timings of this, I had no idea. But when I got to play a few rounds of this map, I just started to pick it up and, you know, got pretty good. So hope you guys have fun. So I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya.